Oh boy, this video is going to be interesting. Picture this, brand new expansion launching with a ton of new features. Things are looking very good. You know, you got a solid progression system, mostly clean launch experience, just a jaw-dropping raid, and just awesome story in general. You know, you got brand new systems that are fun as hell. I mean, the War Within is shaping up to be a powerhouse of an expansion if it's going to continue like this. Then we're told that the 0.5 patch is coming out, and it is massive. A lot of people believe it could be one of the best ones ever, right? Due to just the sheer amount of content, you got the rewards, brand new exciting opportunities, you got transmogs, and just raw fun that the patch actually brings. I mean, holy cow, Blizzard cannot miss right now. They're hitting on every single level. Well, that ended kind of abruptly out of nowhere, I'd say, because the last week for Blizzard has been a nightmare, and it now is in discussion for actually being one of the most broken patches released in WoW's recent history. Not only that, you top it off with a near $100 mount with massive FOMO attached to it, because good God, how could you pass up on an auction house mount with a mailbox attached to it wherever you need? This is going to be a pretty interesting episode. Grab a cup of coffee and sit down. We got a lot to discuss. Now, unless you've been running Raid this week, you probably wouldn't have noticed too much, but if you've been anywhere near Neurobar Palace, you'd see that bosses are quite literally just broken. They're broken. Desync and broken timing between their animations, players dying in safe spots. All these bugs are causing the boss to quite literally just AFK, which is ridiculous. Constant disconnects mid-fight. Listen, when it comes to classes also, it gets even worse. Pretty much every class in the game this week has had a game-breaking bug that just is causing them to either deal way too much damage, become unkillable, or just heal the entire raid completely on their own. You got Elemental Shamans, for example, where I saw Petco on a stream deal upwards of 20 million DPS in a Mythic Plus, clearing packs completely on his own. You got Outlaw Rogues breaking their own hero talents to where their finishers are automatically used at the maximum capacity no matter what. So you're pretty much just spamming 5 combo point finishers every GCD, causing them to be just light years ahead of everyone else. I mean, you look at the Warcraft logs, it's just gotten ridiculous. Then you go to the bottom of the list where you see Frost Mages, and they're actually doing less damage than Augmentation Evokers right now, which apparently the reason for this is because they accidentally received some nerfs which were not intended for them and were intended for Arcane, so they're now dealing the lowest damage in the game. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, right now, we're seeing players take advantage of this at the highest level possible, with some people clearing plus 16 keys, stacking Outlaw Rogues and Elemental Shamans, and at this point, it's just such a shame. Listen, personally, I don't give a crap if anyone's clearing those keys. I'm nowhere near them anyways, but it's Blizzard's fault for breaking the game. But for all the players out there that are up there clearing 13, 14, 15s, I'd be pretty damn pissed if I saw this happening. Apparently, over on the Druid forums, they're even reporting that they had some of their class icons changed to Demon Hunter icons, and even they forgot to implement last week's buffs to Druid, so now they feel nerfed rather than buffed this week. Listen, when it comes to these bugs, I'm going to be brutally upfront and honest, as I always am. It's pretty inexcusable in this case. I think we can all agree that we got this 0.5 patch really, really quickly post-launch, and there was a lot of excitement built around it, but shipping it when it's not ready, it's just inexcusable, and it should never happen. I mean, if you're not ready to ship it on a certain day, you know, I would give it a couple weeks, do some more testing, make sure the game is working properly. Blizzard already has had a bad rap for doing things like this over the last couple years, and a lot of people and players out there are dying for an excuse to just jump at their throat and just bash Blizzard again. I mean, personally, I had a problem where whenever I logged in, there are times where all of my add-ons just get completely reset, and some of them get turned on, some of them get turned off, some of them are just broken, and it's just been a disaster. Now, for somebody who can play the game a lot and figure this out, it's not too big of a deal, but to somebody who can only play an hour or two max a day, they don't want to sit there and spend time fixing add-ons because Blizzard broke them. That just makes no sense. I will also say openly that I think it's great Blizzard is listening to the feedback, and they're getting all this fixed within 3, 4, 5 days-ish of the patch being launched, rather than waiting a week, so I guess that is a win. And a lot of people out there may think this is somewhat normal. You know, they have a big patch coming out, they release it, there's some bugs, they fix it, bada bing, bada boom. Blizzard is even saying that they're going to be taking action also against some of the rogues and elemental shamans and other players who were abusing bugs to push the highest keys possible and exploit their, IO score as well as get some of the best gear in the game. on the top of the leaderboard. Now, what that entails, I have no freaking idea, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see how severe the ban is or what actions they will take. Personally, I think it's Blizzard's problem. I wouldn't expect players to be morally perfect and do the right thing all the time when they're the ones shipping the bad product in the first place, and especially when they take people's money monthly to do so. That personally does not sit right with a lot of people as well as me. Moving on now to the event overall, I think it's been pretty damn fun, I'm not gonna lie. I really like doing the activities and all the quests involved. I think it's pretty cool, but it seems like Blizzard added a ton of different ways to do coins that honestly added just a lot of stress to players. And by the way, none of this is easy or straightforward to do or understand. I personally have had to read multiple guides, take dozens of screenshots on what to do, where to go, how to do it efficiently, just to maximize the amount of coins I can get this week. Articles stating online that there are 18 different weekly quests you need to do for the event, which is just overboard. I understand the reasoning behind wanting everybody to do a little bit of everything because they want everybody to experience the event, test things out and have some fun in a variety of ways. But if there's a lot of things that you really don't want to do that just seem boring to you, it's gonna be pretty damn bad. What if there's some people who don't want to run the dungeons? What if there's some people who don't want to do PvP at all or clear the raid or do any of that for their weekly, coins? Hell, I know I don't want to go run Awakening the Machine every week for one single coin or do a bunch of world quests that don't even give me anything. I don't think everybody wants to be forced to do things they don't want to do. I think that's pretty obvious. And I think that's where we kind of have this problem where the event and its currencies is kind of at a standstill. Personally, I'm going to be taking my time. I'm gathering all these coins so I can get the achievement and then increase the amount that I obtain after I earn 100 so things get a little smoother. I would say the solution to the event is honestly kind of simple. Have the event tokens be at a cap of like 35 or 40 a week, and then just have them repeatedly drop off of any source that the player wants to continuously do. Maybe make them drop off of delves. If the player wants to sit there and spam Alterac Valley, allow them to do that. If they want to sit there and spam time walking dungeons over and over and, boost their friends and stuff while also getting coins, why not let them do that? I don't see the reason behind locking players behind earning rewards consecutively and forcing them to do every single thing and have a massive to-do list every week. I don't think that's how it should be done. I think we all know how, WoW's player base is when it comes to just being toxic and always trying to get the edge over everybody. No one wants to do 20 weekly world quests. You're just asking for people to get burnt out and bored of the 11.0.5 patch within a week's time. I would also say the most boring part has been that Chromie scenario. I'm not gonna lie, when they were selling me, with this idea of the trailer a few months ago, showcasing that we'd go back to the opening gates of Anchorage, I was freaking hyped. I was freaking out. I was somebody expecting some crazy battles to be spread across, the entirety of the zone, fighting some memorable creatures and just engaging in some epic battles, man. I thought it was going to be an awesome event. And then, after waiting like 15 minutes to get in there, you go in there and you just simply fly from marker to marker and just AFK fight mobs and do kind of stupid stuff. I'm not going to lie, I was really disappointed. I get not everything needs to have rewards. That's all about meta chasing, giving you the best gear in the game. But damn, Blizzard, I thought we were going to get something cool, something like an awesome story or something happening here because listen, it was just boring. It was boring. I'll be upfront and say that, and it just wasn't fun. I will be upfront and say that the BRD raid was freaking awesome. I'm gonna be running it today, later on normal, but I did it all on LFR, and I had a blast, man. I even got Iron Foe off the last boss. The mechanics were fun. The design was awesome. I really, really hope they continue to do stuff like this more often. And do it maybe even to old potential dungeons or raids. It was a fantastic experience. Lastly, overall, in general, for the big complaints from a lot of players that came with the patch, I think the lag and desync and overall smoothness of the game has significantly gotten worse than ever before since the War Within launched. It feels like it takes extra time for things to happen and my abilities to go off. My characters bug in and out, tweaking out constantly. Bosses feel bugged out. Like, the things that make World of Warcraft really good and a lot better than other MMOs out there, it's not hitting right now. It's been really, really bad the last few days. Now, moving on to the really, really big drama. It's not the bugs. It's not the game-breaking Mythic Plus pushing. It's not the crappy, Chromie event. Hell, it's not even the 20 weekly quests that we're now forced to do. Hands down, the hottest thing this week has got to be the $100 mount that has a auction house and mailbox attached to it. Listen, the mount that was once 5 million gold to buy back in BFA has returned with the new skin, and it's even better than before because you have a mailbox now attached to it. Listen, if you take the price of the WoW token right now, which is, roughly 300,000 gold because of the inflation, and divide that into 5 million, that's around 17 WoW tokens. That cost $333 if it were to go on sale today. I mean, Jesus, the mount is expensive as hell, and it's absurdly ridiculous how much it actually costs. But wait, we don't actually need to spend $333 because, of course, Blizzard came in with a solution. It's live in the game again. For a small fraction of the price, you can buy it for $90. Now, if you compare it directly to the old Brutosaur, I mean, it's a hell of a deal. It's an amazing deal. If you use your brain for 2 seconds and think, though, holy shit, $90 is a lot of money. It's insane, and Blizzard is going overboard. Even just recently, they released the brand new Transmog mount, the Grizzly Hills, Packmaster for $20 that had the Transmog on it. And then just a few short weeks later, they're on to releasing this bad boy. The Brutosaur mount is the epitome of FOMO. There is no way in the game right now that you can buy a portable auction house and a portable mailbox. It's physically impossible. So, of course, this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing that could never come back to WoW again. The value of having an auction house and mailbox anywhere you go is game-changing. I mean, just at the start of the expansion, I personally was spending hours upon hours crafting things and doing things to make gold, going back and forth between the auction house, the mailbox, the crafting tables, and it was consuming a lot of time. So this mount completely cuts that by like 75%, maybe even more. The value is through the roof on this thing, and it actually costs them nothing to make. It costs them literally almost nothing to make. It's a reskin of the Brutosaur with an auction house NPC on it, mailbox NPC on it. If you think about it, the War Within was $50, the expansion. I just want to stress again, the mount is $90. It's double the price of an expansion. It's 6 months of game time. The truth is that this thing is actually, it's selling like hotcakes. The WoW token has actually been bugged, and it was broken this week. It started off roughly at like 260,000, and it shot all the way up to 400,000 at one point, and it got so bad to where the digital currency that Blizzard was creating for the WoW token quite literally ran out, and it was broken, and you could not buy anymore. That just goes to show how much they're making off of this freaking $90 amount, and it's ridiculous. If you think about it, Blizzard's playing chess, we're all sitting here playing checkers, because the truth is we're the suckers who are buying this damn thing, and it's just completely broken the game. I couldn't even fathom how much money they're probably making off this thing. I know about 4 or 5 people who have bought it, which is almost $500 made just off of a couple people that I know. You multiply that by the tens of thousands and 50,000s of people who are buying this thing. They are rolling in the dough right now, and they're laughing on their way to the bank. Blizzard knows that 11.0.5 has had a major release, and the player population is through the roof. Everything is going well, so, how can they capitalize and make more money to keep this efficient, patch releases happening? All the massive updates, the brand new raids, the transmogs, the cosmetics, the monthly, weekly shops and stuff. The way to do it is by selling mounts like this. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I might need to buy this mount. I might genuinely spend $90 because the value is just so immense. It's so powerful, and I'm scared I'm going to miss out on it and not be able to buy it. It looks like Blizzard is just sucking the pants off of other companies lately, especially with how, Riot put out that $500 Faker skin, Ashes of Creations putting out the $120 Alpha Access. I mean, it seems like a lot of companies right now are just taking advantage of consumers. And I'm not going to lie, it sucks. It sucks. Okay, so moving on now to what's changing. Well, Blizzard has already announced that they're fixing and working toward getting all these bugs tightened up so that the rest of the patch can be fantastic and everyone's happy, lolly-doll, going about their day. When it comes to class and balance, however, it already looks like we're getting some massive changes come Tuesday, so let's break it down very quickly. Blood Death Knights, you're getting a nice little damage buff across the board, so a lot of abilities as well as the Sand Lane hero talent tree, so that should help you out in the nearby future. Same thing goes for Druid, with Balance getting a ton of buffs across the board to, critical single target abilities as well as some of their new talents, so this should help them out because they have not lived up to expectations this patch as we predicted earlier this week, and all you guys were calling me crazy. So Restoration Druid also got some minor changes to Dream of Cenarius, as well as the Call of the Elder Druid, while Hunters, I guess it was fun while it lasted, because within just a few days of this patch being live, you're already getting nerfed, and they state that they think the Dark Ranger hero talent tree is way too good in single target, but they're supplementing it by upgrading some of your AoE damage. So they're nerfing Black Arrow and increasing some of the AoE potential for this spec, so it can be a little bit better for Mythic Plus. I always thought because, Hunter brings so little utility and has kind of crappy defensives that they should at least be one of the top DPS specs in the game, but I guess Blizzard thinks otherwise, so they're going to nerf it. Mistweaver Monk is getting some buffs overall to their healing, and their potential with Fist Weaving is also being increased as well, with a massive buff also to some of their other abilities. Shaman, thankfully, they're getting nerfed, even though they're one of my mains. Stormbringer is getting nerfed, and their absolutely ridiculous Ascendance overloads are getting nerfed as well. And to supplement for this, they're buffing the Farseer hero talent tree, which desperately needed it after the brand new changes. Once again, enhancements also getting nerfed on a bit of their key abilities, like Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning, stuff like that. Thank God we actually have some Warlock changes, because all 3 Warlock specs are getting massive buffs for both single target and multi-target situations. Affliction, Demonology, and Destruction are getting some really nice buffs, ranging from 10 to 25% on a lot of abilities. So that is a very, very, very big win. I think the design has always been there for Warlock. They just need some number tuning, and they'll be just fine. Another class that desperately needed the help was the Warrior, and they're thankfully getting buffs as well. For Arms and Fury, they're generally just getting damage increases across the board, ranging from 10 to 20% on a lot of their key abilities as well, for both Slayer and Colossus hero talent tree also. Once again, thank God, because I think Warriors desperately needed it. But okay, those were the class changes over the last couple days, and we also have a couple more things to announce. That patch 11.1 is now updated on the Blizzard internal servers, but sadly the build isn't encrypted yet by data miners, so they can't actually see what's going on there. But it is on the servers, and that is something to keep an eye on. We also don't have an estimate of when the patch is going to be coming out, but it will likely happen around March or April. And lastly, if you Blizzard chills want to spend any more money, there's also a $30 mount bundle for the World of Warcraft 30th anniversary. Dude, I can't help but laugh but saying this shit out loud. I don't know what's going on, but good Lord, what a week for World of Warcraft. I was really, really hoping to make a positive video about the launch of the event and everything going on, but I guess it sadly, happened in a different direction. I guess it was a negative direction this week, as Blizzard usually intends it after doing good for a while. You guys absolutely have to let me know what you're thinking about all this in the comment section below. I feel like I can feel your burning anger and hatred towards the game through the freaking camera screen right now. So you gotta let me hear it in the comment section below, man. Anyways, listen, enjoy your guys' Saturday. On the second channel, we're close to 200 subscribers. I think we're at 199. Help your boy out. Help us get it to 200 subscribers. We're going to be posting more content on that channel soon. My name's Sky from the Comeback Kids. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, man.